nation together, believing, serving, loving one another. That's what we need. We can't do it without you. We know it. Bring us together in one mind tonight, one heart for our people, because we are sure proud of our town and the good things that are happening, and we give you praise for it. In Christ's name, amen.
Madam Clerk, can we get a roll call, please?
Bennell,
Present.
GAUNCE,
Yes, ma'am.
HONEYCUTT, Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry,
Present.
Neal, Norris,
Here.
Trigg, Witcher.
Having the minutes from our last meeting in front of you from July 26th, 2021. If you've looked over them, if I have no deletions, additions, or no corrections, I'll accept a motion to accept those meetings.
Motion by Bennell.
Have a motion by Kirkpatrick and a second by Witcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Minutes passes. Under the new business, the city attorney is running late, so Mona's going to try to read the, if you don't mind, try to read the ordinances. First item is ordinance number 2021, ordinance amending the 2021-2989 annual budget for the fiscal year 7/1/2021 through 6/30/2022.
City of Glasgow, ordinance number 2021-blank, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2021-2989, the City of Glasgow annual budget for the fiscal year 7/1/2021 through 6/30/2022 by transferring $14,000 from the unappropriated general fund for an air unit and supplies and receiving $1,875,510.59 into the general fund from American Rescue Plan, and the disbursement of $1,875,510.59 and appropriating from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $102,500 for equipment and supplies. Be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that the City of Glasgow annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/2021 through 6/30/2022 is hereby amended as follows. Section 1, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $3,800 to the administrative account 010-1110-8535 contractual improvement for an air unit in the elevator room. Section 2, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $10,200 to the street account 010-3310-8305 technical supplies for a price increase on salt and mosquito spray. Section 3, there is hereby received $1,475,510.59 into the general fund administrative account 010-1110-6325 federal monies from the American Rescue Plan. Section 4, there is hereby received $400,000 into the general fund stormwater account 010-4440-6325 federal monies from the American Rescue Plan. Section 5, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $1,475,510.59 to the administrative account 010-1110-8430 grants and subsidies. Section 6, There is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $400,000 to the stormwater account 010-4440-8535 contractual improvements. Section 7, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $90,500 to the landfill account 085-4430-8515 construction maintenance equipment for a price increase and bid overage. Section 8, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $12,000 to the landfill account 085-4430-8505 technical equipment for well and airline supplies. Section 9, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attests. Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, August 2nd, 2021.
Having heard this ordinance read, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion by Benel.
Have a motion by Benel and a second by Neal.
I have a question. The $400,000 for the stormwater fund, and then the transfer from the unappropriated general fund, $400,000. Are we putting $800,000 into stormwater?
No, we're putting in $400,000, but it has to go into that account before it can go to stormwater.
Okay, and the $1,475,000, that's not really spent yet. That's just transferred into an account.
We can't spend it till it's
I
appropriated.
just want to make sure I understood that right.
Right, yeah, it's not
Thank
being
you.
spent.
Yeah, but it's classified with certain things it can be spent on. Is that right?
The way it comes in, it can be spent on certain items, and if we spend it on something other than what the guidelines say, then we'd have to pay it back. Is there any other questions? We have a first and a second. All those approved signify by saying aye. Aye. Those object, like sign. First reading passes. Second item is Resolution 2021, a resolution authorizing the City of Glasgow to the Grabhorn Law Firm to represent the city in opioid litigation settlement. Is that supposed to be out here? Okay.
Yeah. Unless they need to discuss it, want to discuss it in private. So I think we discussed it last time.
Okay.
Resolution number 2021-blank, a resolution authorizing the City of Glasgow, Kentucky to hire was omitted there, to hire the Grabhorn Law Firm to represent the city in the opioid litigation settlement. Whereas there's been a settlement with opioid manufacturers that's created funds intended for states, cities, and counties, and whereas Glasgow is a home rule city with a population above 10,000 and is due some of these proceeds, but was not represented in the settlement or the memorandum of understanding regarding the funds, and may be subject to taxes as a result, and whereas numerous other cities like Glasgow have hired the Grabhorn firm, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky as follows. The City of Glasgow shall hire the Grabhorn firm to represent Glasgow in the opioid settlement litigation to secure the maximum amount of appropriate funds due to Glasgow. The payment and cost shall be by contingent fee only. Now what that means is we don't pay any money unless they recover money for us. And if they don't recover money, they have to pay all the fees themselves. The mayor is hereby authorized and directed to sign the employment and fee agreement form that's been provided by the Grabhorn firm. Number 3, any further decisions about settlement amounts and conditions shall come before the council for consideration and vote. So adopted, 2nd day of August 2021. Harold Armstrong, Mayor. Attest, Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
Having heard this resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion, Norris.
Have a motion by Councilman Norris and a second. Second by Councilman Kirkpatrick. Go ahead.
Danny, thank you. I talked to Michael Grabhorn this week. I'm not sure I'm more confused than I was, but it's my understanding from him, we're not like suing the county.
That's correct.
This is suing a company that's outside of the state. I believe.
The suit was
It's the
against...
three big farmers.
The suit was against actually 4 of the big pharmas, and the state, Kentucky, recovered about $460 million. The legislature passed a bill in the spring that resulted in this being allocated half for the state and half for counties and cities. So there'd be $230 million that would be for counties and cities. And of that, it's then allocated to counties, and cities that have 10,000 or more in Kentucky are home rule cities, and they have a right to participate in that. But the memorandum of understanding only involved the counties. And what we're doing there is just being represented so that we can be sure that the cities gets the part that's due them from the settlement. And of the $230 million that's coming to the counties and cities, Barron County would be allocated, I think, 0.792%, which would be somewhere in the range of a couple of million. And then that's spread out amongst entities within the county and the city, and part of it's paid out over 18 years, so it's not like a big windfall, but it's like we want to get involved and make sure that we get the amount that's due to Glasgow because of, it's for reimbursement for costs associated with the opioid crisis that's taken place. And of course, we've had expenses in fire departments and ambulance services and police departments and so forth. So we're due some of the money, and this is just to make sure we get our share.
But this lawsuit, this class action, will not be against the counties in Kentucky. It'll be against the county's gonna get their money, and then hopefully we'll get some of that, and then this is a lawsuit outside of that based on the 3 or 4 big pharma companies.
Actually, that lawsuit was filed, and this law firm has been involved in that all along, and it is basically settled now. It's just a matter of getting the money to the right places, to the right people.
Is there any other questions? We have a first and a second. All those approved signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Resolution passes. Next item is Resolution 2021 authorizing the City of Glasgow, Kentucky to dispose of a 2010 Caterpillar D8T pursuant to the law of the Public Works Department as designated surplus.
City of Glasgow Resolution Number 2021-blank, a resolution authorizing the City of Glasgow, Kentucky to dispose of a 2010 Caterpillar D8T pursuant to law that the Glasgow Public Works Department has designated as surplus. Be it hereby resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky as follows. Number 1, that the Glasgow Public Works Department has a 2010 Caterpillar D810, serial number KPZ03737, that's been designated as surplus and that needs to be disposed of. That the item listed above shall be disposed of pursuant to law. Be it further resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that Harold Armstrong, Mayor of the City of Glasgow, shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to execute any and all documents necessary to complete the disposal of this item pursuant to law. So adopted the 2nd day of August, 2021. Harold Armstrong, Mayor. Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
Having heard this resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Second, Lowry.
Witcher, and a second by Lowry. All those approve this resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those object, like sign. The resolution passes. It will be put up for as surplus and will be put up to be sold. The next item is a resolution authorizing offering for sale by sealed bids of a non-exclusive franchise for construction and maintenance of fiber optic telecommunications system.
City of Glasgow Resolution Number 2021-blank, a resolution authorizing offering for sale by sealed bids of a non-exclusive franchise for construction and maintenance of a fiber optic telecommunications system. Whereas it has been requested of the officials of the City of Glasgow that the city award a non-exclusive franchise to allow use of the city streets and public ways for maintenance of a fiber optic telecommunications system. And whereas the City Council is determined to advertise for bids for the awarding of such a franchise, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky as follows. The City of Glasgow shall offer for sale by sealed bids a 20-year non-exclusive franchise with the bid to respond to issues and conditions contained in the sample franchise agreement attached hereto as Exhibit A, which is incorporated herein by reference. This is in parentheses. This franchise agreement is simply a sample for an illustration, and the actual agreement may differ. Which sale shall be to the highest and best bidder, with bids to be opened in the City Council chambers on the blank day of blank 2021 at such time as designated. Prior to the sale, the city clerk shall advertise according to the law the time, place, purpose, and terms of the sale. The mayor shall report to the City Council at its first meeting subsequent to the sale the identity of the successful bidder and the terms of the sale, and shall cause to be presented to the City Council an ordinance approving the sale, awarding the franchise, and authorizing the mayor to execute a franchise agreement which incorporates the terms of the bid acceptable to the city. The city reserves the right to reject any and all bids so adopted this second day of August 2021. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, Mona Simmons, City Clerk. Now, this resolution is saying that you think that the city needs to make this offer of a franchise agreement, and this is saying that we shall then advertise it for bids, and once the bids come in, select one, the best bid for the franchise. If you pass it, then we'll have the bids and probably make an award. And if you don't pass it, then we won't have the advertising and won't have the bids.
In what instance would we not pass this?
Well, if you decided that we didn't need it,
Well, wouldn't that be covered, keep us covered under the right to reject any and all bids,
well,
or not?
once you advertise for bids, you've got to have a reason to reject, and even though you have a right to reject, if you don't have a reason, it's arbitrary. And that's a problem with...
So if this body votes not to pass this, then we won't be obligated to look at any franchise at this point?
If you decide that it's not necessary to have another fiber optic system,
Okay.
that's what you would decide. We have the Electric Plant Board, and we have the South Central Kentucky, and we have Verizon. But it's your decision whether or not we need another one, or whether or not you want to advertise for another one.
Okay.
That's your decision.
Can we discuss now, or do we got to do?
We need a motion and a second, and then you can discuss it.
Need a motion to bring it up, and then you can discuss it once the motion's there.
Can I get a motion?
Motion, Norris.
Motion, Norris, and a second by Neal. Now you can discuss it.
But we already have multiple entities providing the internet. We have multiple access points to the main internet. I see no need to offer another franchise, and I'm sure I would be against it. I don't see a need for it. And all it's going to make us do is be out advertising costs.
Yeah, I would just dovetail on you. I mean, we're just now getting out of Windstream, and they were barring the poles. And there's a configuration that's got to go on these poles, and not all the poles may have any more room to configure. And if you've read up on anything about this company, they're less than suspect. And if you know anybody in Eastern Kentucky, and if you ask them about this, the whole essence was they were going to get streamlined with the health departments back to Frankfurt. And then when they got in, they tried to go outside and do just normal consumer business. And it has been a nightmare, for lack of a better way of saying it. And I would be like Wendell. We got plenty, in my opinion. I'll be voting no.
So your opinion is coming from the Kentucky League of Cities, or what?
My opinion's coming from people who live in Eastern Kentucky that signed up for Kentucky Wired or Kentucky. I think in essence it was a good idea. $1.8 billion later, they still not got internet over there. So if you talk to anybody in Eastern Kentucky, they will not speak highly of this. But I haven't talked to Kentucky League of Cities, honestly.
Did we ever get any feedback from our representatives, Mr. Rowley or Mr. Gibbons, about we know what the intent of this was, that was to provide fiber for rural areas in Kentucky. get any feedback? Because it seemed like the state was saying we will have this.
We haven't got any feedback. My indications were, when this first came up, I told them they needed to talk to the county. Our city is blanketed and covered well. There could be some blind spots in the county. They needed to go to the county and ask for a franchise, and we got nothing from that. They just kept sending information, and that's the reason I brought it to the council. But that's your vote. Whichever way you vote, that's the way it'll be. And if we have any backlash from it, because we wouldn't allow them to try to be in our community, then we'll defend it vigorously. So,
Yeah, my understanding is, as long as you've got suppliers already there at a comparable rate, I don't know who determines that, but if you didn't have any fiber optic and you were not allowing the city to do it, but we have, I think you said 3, so,
well, I mean, I agree. This body needs to vote on it. I can't just, I've asked them to go to the county, and that didn't work, so I'm at the point where you all have to vote on it. Any other discussion? All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye. Those opposed, like sign.
Aye.
The resolution fails. Okay? Next item is, these were the 2 most important, well, 3. The next item is pending appointment. I think there's only one, and it comes up at August 23rd meeting, but it's in your packet. Having no other business, we'll make a few announcements and see if anybody else has any. I want to remind everyone to be prepared for the household hazardous waste collection and free shredder day on Saturday, September the 11th at Beaver Trail, 9 a.m. till noon. A listing of acceptable and unacceptable items can be found on the city's website and Facebook page. I know this is way ahead of time, but we're going to keep bringing it up every meeting, because whenever we have these, right after we have them, we have people say, well, I didn't know about it. I wished I'd have known. So if you know, and it's on our website and it's on Facebook, but just another mention, this is a free event that you can participate in and have your files shredded and have all of your household hazardous waste disposed upon. So make sure that you circle your calendar and try to make that event. Council meeting on Monday, August the 9th has been canceled. The notice is included in your packet. Our next meeting will be August the 23rd at 7 p.m. in person here in City Hall, City Chambers. And if at all you need to bring your mask, if it's the public, and sit at least 6 feet apart so we can adhere to the best of our ability, so we can keep having these in-person meetings. Is there any other announcements to be made?
Mayor Armstrong, I have 2 items.
Okay.
I'd like to invite everyone out on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock to Gorn Park. Be a tennis block party of the Weldon Tennis Association in cooperation with our rec department. At 6 o'clock, we'll be having a tennis clinic. You want to work on your forehand, your backhand, your volley, your serve, or just want to come out to Gorn Park at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Then starting on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be the Weldon Tennis Tournament at Gorn Park. And just a part of history on this will be the 93rd year for the Weldon Tennis Tournament, the WA Weldon Tennis Tournament. So 93 years. We've not had it every year of the 93, but it started in 1928. A few years during World War II we didn't have it, and a few years in the 80s. But come out to Gorn Park on Thursday if you'd like to. Thank you.
Any other announcements?
Baz, can I ask a question? Have you heard anything from the RFP with the guy from Frost Brown?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I know there's been communication between the lawyer and West. I know they've been working on it. I just don't know what the bottom line is.
Is any other announcements? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. has a first and Neil has a second. Thank you all for coming to the special call so that we could get these pressing items done and out of the way. Thank you. I figured that because when I saw you weren't here, I thank Mama, she done a knock-up job on that first ordinance.
Thank you, Mama. I'm sorry I didn't get here in time.